Start, sir. From my side is start.
Started, sir. You can start.
Yash Raj is from Banaras, the holy land where astrology started into light. As they say, Mark Twain said, Banaras is as old as the Vedas. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean it makes Yash Raj a great astrologer, but I'm quite sure he's in the company of great Parampara astrologers of Banaras. So, Yash Raj has been doing astrology for quite some time, but his big advantage, he combines modern thinking with classical base. There are books, we just released a video, if you all have seen that video on Mansagari, he spoke about it. Have you all seen that video, or should I quote the shloka? Hello.
You can put, sir. It will be a good refresher for us.
Sir, we saw the video.
Who said
Sir,
that?
Ruchi, I was in that. Yes, sir.
Basically, there are a lot of ancient texts, okay, which we ignore, okay, and because we have this herd mentality, because everybody said, are we recording, guys?
Yes, sir.
Because everybody said something, everybody is following that. At the start in the introduction, I mentioned it. Okay, because everybody says no, Mansh is marriage, we are doing. Everybody said siblings is Drekkana chart. Okay, we are doing that. Okay. Now, some of you will say, why shouldn't Saptamsha be marriage? It is the divisional of the seventh house. Am I right? Yes or no? Can I have the camera on, please? Why shouldn't D5 be children? My friend Amitesh is here. Okay. My question to you all, why isn't it logical? Nimisha says no sound, sir. Can people hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, Rahul, for a kind comment. So we need to, at the same time, I see a lot of modern astrologers, they come up with their own variations for D11, this, that, etc. and all that. Okay. So we need to have a balance on that. And a good way is classics like Mansagari. I presume Yashraj did a 16th century, Mansagari is 16th century. Am I right? Such a 16th century book, if I remember, Jitendra Sahiwala can tell us more. I don't know how you get the time to be online, Jitendra. I do not know what time it is in Canada over there. You are muted. I've asked you to unmute.
3:25 midnight.
Oh my God. You've been. I'll give you a quick example because I know Jitendra Sahiwala since many years and we interviewed him. Many of you would have seen his video. Okay. How many years he's been into astrology? Just ask him.
45.
25 years.
45.
Okay. Sorry, 45. Okay, I was about to say you're wrong, you're lying. Anyway, you said it out correctly. 45 years still sitting at 3:30 in the morning, having someone unwell in the family, and yet so much into astrology shows the humbleness, eagerness to learn and learn and learn. Trust me, if I was 45 years into astrology, I would not be sitting here. I would be making statements. जहां हम खड़े हो जाते हैं ज्योतिष उधर से ही चालू होता. Where I stand, astrology starts from there. That much of ego I would have if I'm 45 years into astrology. Am I right or wrong? It's normal, it's natural. हाँ, कभी मैंने गुस्से में ये dialogue बोल दिया था. I was very unhappy at that time when I said that dialogue. Okay, with the Mumbai club people because they were thankless. I always believed When you get a great shloka, I tell all my students, when you see a great shloka, you should bow down. When you not bow down when you see a great prediction. When you see shlokas like this from Mansak, you need to bow down, that somebody had the guts to write it, and that to a great author like Hirji, the author of Mansak. See the beauty of this shloka. It says death from Trimshamsha, wife, all about your spouse from Dwadashamsha. Siblings from Saptamsha, we've never heard this anybody saying. And Navamsha for everything about self. And Drekkana for Karma Phala.
Death.
For Karma Phala. Some people I have met who have taken this shloka and gone ahead in timing job. Are you all understanding, guys? Cameras on. Yes or no? I should be able to understand. You can nod your head, smile, be angry, whatever, etc., etc., etc. Then only understand that you understand. I have written about that Yogi Agniotri Maharaj who showed the greatness of Dwadashamsha from Banaras. All of you know that story. If you don't know that story, I've written it in the editorial and also in many times I've repeated it. Recently in that Mansagri video, you all can hear that. How that yogi said, you guys educated lots, you guys are idiots and non-scientific. I said, sir, why do you say that? He said, how can you take the Rashi chart, which is for 2 hours, 100,000 people, 200,000 people are aboard, and decipher the same results for all of them? He said, you are a far bigger idiots. When a yogi tell you idiots, you have to quietly listen. Otherwise, he might curse you, you don't know, So, this is 15 years back story. Okay. So, in Banaras. Then he says, you're a far bigger idiot because you take Chandra Lagna, which is there for 2.5 days, and decipher the same prediction for everybody. Of course, as K.N. Rao says, unless and until you learn Nadi Amsa, you will never learn the serious, real astrology. He's written this in his book. Anyway, without taking much time, quickly to Yashraj, I spent time so that you understand that some technical knowledge is going to come out. I've asked Yashraj to make it as simple as possible. All yours, Yashraj. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your words are always very wise. So, I think we shall start with.
Kindly unmute yourself, Yashraj.
Okay. So, I'm sharing the screen. Is this screen visible to everyone? Okay.
It says it is.
So, karma phala and profession. Before starting, we all must pray to our gurus. So, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Now, so D3, why we are taking D3, not D10 for the karma? We first understand this. See, D3 is the expansion of the third house. Okay. And third house is the basic intentions of a native, whether it is Prashna chart, it is natal horoscope, whatever. It is the basic intentions. It is the first house of your desires. And we all must be aware of the fact that the karma phal is generated because of intentions. With what intention you are doing the karma, not the karma phal. Means suppose you wanted to save someone, a doctor, when a doctor is doing treatment of some patient, his intention is always to save the person. Okay, but person may be saved or may not be. It depends on the destiny part, but the intention is to save. On the other hand, a criminal is having intention to harm, to kill, to destroy the person. Okay, whether the person will be saved or the criminal will be successful in his activity depends on the destiny of both. So intention drives everything in this world. It drives you, it drives your karma, it drives this universe. That is why third house is very important. And in Kal Purush, you would be seeing that third house is owned by Mercury and the Karak is Mars. The third house has got the Karak, which is the natural lord of the Kal Purush, Mangal, Mars. Okay. So it has a very deep connection, very deeper meaning it has. If one will think, then we'll get more about the third house. I am limiting it to the subject. So third house is a karmic and it is the unconscious karma. So hobbies, inherent courage, all these are the third house. And it is said that Ram, the Lord Ram, is in our prana. Okay, our prana, our jivatma is Ram. Okay, and the protector of that jivatma is the breath. That is the Hanuman, Pavan Putra. So that is why third house, it is the house of your lungs, breathe. So it has very deep connection with your soul and all the and your survival. Now you see that it is eighth from the eighth house of longevity. Okay, so breathing, all these things which I explained. So eighth from eighth house, it is said that Bhavad Bhavam is the future of that house. So future of that house means that what will happen in the future, means a person is, what is the limit of that house. When you can also say that limit of that house. So that is the Bhavad Bhavam. If any house is initially afflicted, but Bhavad Bhavam is very good, then the future may be very good, and that house gets some supports. Okay, that because Parashar has said that you have to read, not Fal Deepika has said that you have to read every house making as Lagna, then you have to analyze that house. That is why from there the Bhavad Bhavam principle comes. Okay, so it is eighth from the eighth, means it is very important for longevity, and you should understand that 11th house is the gains of your karma. Okay, it is 11th from the 10th. Now another concept is the third house is 10th from your 6th house. Okay, means it is the karma of your rinanu bandhan, the debts which you have. Okay, and it is well known that 6th house is also known for the sadhana. Sadhana means to master something, to have certain practices. Okay, so because when it is debt, it is a challenge for you. So what are the challenges of the life? What is the challenges of your karma is the third house. Okay, now 6th house is bhagya also of your active karma. and it is again. Now you have to see the bhavad bhavam of the 10th house. That from 7th house, it is the bhagya of your future karmas. Okay. So if you are doing any karma, thinking about the future, so that is ultimately becomes the root cause of your karma. Okay. Suppose you are in 10th standard, you want to become an IAS officer. So that is a future project, and intention is not driven from third house. So all these houses says that a third house has to do a lot with your karma, that how you are shaping your karma, how what will be the nature of your karma. Okay. Now one another concept which I always think, I may be wrong in this, but this is my thinking, that fifth house we know is the house of our purva janam sanskar, means past life instincts. Okay, or better to say sanskar, what we have got from the past life. Ninth house is the present janam sanskar, what we are doing in the present, what the sanskar we are making, and we are, because ninth house is voluntary karma, fifth house is involuntary karma, which is in our instincts. So now you see that fifth house is the bhavad bhavam of the third house. So again, that purva janma sanskar has some link with your third house instincts. That instincts are somewhere driven from the third house. Okay. So I will also say that because Mercury is a reactive planet, Mars is the action. The third house, the experiences of the third house is because of the reaction developed of the past experiences. Okay. So you can say that third house, Mercury, all these planets, houses shows the reaction which is developed because of past experiences. Okay. So the one who is doing the karma because of Shad Ripus, and in Kali Yuga, you cannot expect anyone to be overcoming the Shad Ripus. Only yogis can do that. So almost we all have some or other Ripus in us, and we are doing that karma because of the third house. Okay. So it is there related with our past too much. Okay, 10th house is not much related to the past. Third is related a lot. Okay, so this is the difference of both. Now, the concept is very clear, as Sunil sir explained this shlokas very well, that Dreshkane Karma Phalam, Mansagri says, Hora Ratnam says, and few other, one another book which I remember is Yavan Jatak, that also has written somewhere that Karma Phal and Dreshkan should be considered. And it is obvious why to see the Karma Phal from D3. And the Mansagri was written back by Hirji, a Gujarati astrologer, a very good one. Now the computation of D3, which we will be using in this session, is different. We know that what Parashara has prescribed to use, he has said that all planets 0 to all planets move in 159, means the tattva of the planet will not change. Any planet in fiery tattva will be in fiery. So it is, I would say that that is more of a tattva based chart, that the Parashari method. Okay, that in Parashari we all know any planet in 0 to 10 degrees of Aries will be in Aries Dreshkan. 10 to 20 will be in Leo. Okay, and then Sagittarius 20 to 30. It is 10th degree division. But in Varanasi method, or you can also say the cyclic method. Okay, it is different. It is cyclic. Now here what happens? It starts from Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we have this categorization of signs. Now, any planet in Aries to 0 to 10 degree will be in Aries. Then it does not goes to Leo as it was going in the Parashar method. For suppose a Mangal or Mars is sitting 0 to 10 degrees in Aries, will be in Aries in both the methods. But in this method, it will go to Taurus after 10 degrees. Means 10 to 20 degree will be in Taurus in Varanasi because it is cyclic. Okay. And in Parashari, it will jump to the fifth house or the fifth sign, which will be Leo. So this is the difference. And it will then to Gemini, then again for the next pair of the signs, earthy signs, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and it moves in a cyclic way. So this is the casting method, and it is given in both the softwares. I think that in Jagannath Hora it is given, and also it is given in Parashar Light with the name Pravitri Traya Dreshkon, I think. Okay, so if you're having problem in casting, then you can use these softwares to cast this horoscope chart. Now this is the one example which I like to show that how it is different. You see that this is the chart of Indira Gandhi. Okay, and here the computation is different. Okay, so you can check it after or thereafter when the session ends that how calculation is working, and everything is given. I don't think that I have to explain this. Okay. Now coming to the predictive techniques. Predictive techniques is very simple. Okay, because I know here there are advanced students, there is medium kind of a student, beginners also, very beginners would be present here. But to keep simple for everyone, I have to give very simple techniques. You have to understand that how to analyze this chart, and it will be very easy. As I said, that it shows the nature, the intentions of your karma. Okay, and that is why karmfal is generated. So, and remember, then the karmfal which this chart is showing is because of your past karmas. Okay, it is least, or you can say not anyone, not related to the free will or your present kriyaman karma. Lagna rising in D3 is important. Okay, and it will show the general outlook of your overall karma. See, any Varga chart is erected from the basic D1 chart. So Lagna is that amsha of the your Lagna in that Varga. That is why Lagna is important, and it will show the general nature. I will show you in the upcoming example that how it is working, and in meantime you can also check on your chart that how it is working. You must be knowing the natural karakatva of the planets, natural karakatva of the signs which is rising in the chart, and you can check it that how it is working. For example, Mars is associated with the lagna of the D3 chart, then the person will be aggressive. He will be logical, revengeful also. Okay, will always be eager to give the answers, replies. Okay, not keeping silent. So in this way it will work. Mercury will make it more intellectual, more mental work, intelligent. Okay, trader. All these things will come into play. Jupiter will be dharmic. So you can apply the natural significations of planet. I hope. The 10th house. 10th house will show the karmas. Okay, because 10th house is the most important house after the Lagna. I consider not even the 9th house. Okay, 10th house is the most important because it has a direct influence on the Lagna. So 10th house, 10th lord is important after the Lagna of the D3, and it will show the karma and the nature of your profession. 6th house will show this debts and Rinanu Bandhan to a great extent. Okay, and it can also show service if the 6th and 10th are related. Okay, so yeah, and 6th and 10th lord from moon, that is also important. I will recommend everyone that you should check moon from every, you have to understand, you have to analyze moon in every Varga chart. You cannot ignore moon. Okay, when rishis have given a lot of importance to moon, it is a very important thing because you cannot ignore moon. It is the mental framework, it is the mind which drives everything. Remove the mind, you are nothing. because mind is the everything, and 90% of the karmas are generated from the mind. Okay, so moon, that is why Vinchotri Dasha and many other things are transitive. Everyone has given the importance to moon, so you cannot ignore moon. You have to see moon and 10th and 6th and those things in this chart as well. How is the mental capabilities? Okay, then the Gemini Charakarka is the Amatya Karka. Okay, Amatya Karka, where Gemini Rishi has said that you should check the Amatya Karaka, and that is the Gemini Rishi's advice. I personally believe that Gemini Rishi astrology or Parashari astrology is not different. Parashar Sastra has both the shlokas given, and even for your information, I must say that in Parashar Hora Shastra or in Parashar Hora Shastra, it is given that the yoga fal, the yogas relating to the lords and the Amatya Karakas and the Charkar. So there are many yogas relating to the Amatya Karaka, related to the Lagna, 5th, 10th, it makes a Raj Yoga. So you see that how it is interlinking with the Parashar system. You cannot ignore it. Okay. Saturn is Karmaka. So that is very common thing. We all know that Saturn has to be very good in D3 chart. And one, I think Ken Rao Sahab says that Saturn should be very good in D3 for a good nature of karmas. Okay. That is the statement of Rao Sahab. Saturn and Moon relations grants special fame and recognition. So I will show you that how it works, because Saturn is the 10th house of the Kalpurush, Sun is the 5th house of the Kalpurush. Okay, and 5th and 10th is a very popular combination to get fame, to be rewarded by the government, such thing. So that is why natural combination of Saturn and Sun is very important in this horoscope. 5th house, as I said, is involuntary karma. 9th house will show your voluntary karma. 9th house is the karma which you are deciding. Suppose you want to change your job. Okay, so 9th house will involve that you are leaving the job, you are signing a relation with your own will, you are not being thrown out of the job. If you are being thrown out of the job, 5th house is working. Or suppose you are doing something, you are starting any business, and that business is started out of nowhere without your own will, and it is just sudden and circumstances pushed you. This is 5th house. So the pre-planned planned thing. That is why I said 9th house is the present Janma Sanskara. 5th house is the past Janma Sanskara. Okay. And affliction to 9th house is very bad. It damages the present Janma Sanskara, leading to more difficult life in the next in the later part of the life, or you can say the next birth. So that is the thing. Dasha at birth is always been important to check the seed of the event. Okay, to check the seed of the what from where the person has left and from where it is starting now. So that is the importance of Dasha at birth. If you have not working on Dasha at birth, even every student of astrology should work on Dasha at birth. They first should check Dasha at birth, that what is the Dasha at birth. If you are able to do that, at least do it in on 500 horoscopes, you will be the best, you will be getting the best technique of pending karma. There is not a single technique better than this Dasha at birth, to check what karma, what is the focus of your life actually. Okay, where are you heading in this birth? So that is the importance of Dasha at birth. And when I say Dasha at birth, consider it Vimshotri Dasha. Okay, don't mix other dashas, otherwise you will be confused. Now coming to the examples. So the first example is of all of our guru, our mentor Sunil Jainji, and so this is the horoscope. It is Scorpio ascendant with with Ketu in it, the moon in the 7th house, sun in the 8th house, Venus in the 9th house, okay, Jupiter in the 10th house, Saturn in the 11th house, and Mars in the 12th house. So you see how the series of planets is being set from 7th to the 12th house, or you can say from the ascend to the up to ascendant. So it is a very good Navas yoga. I remember, I am not recalling it, but I believe that it is such one kind of mala yoga which Jawaharlal Nehru had. So, but this is not the topic. I just recalled it while explaining the planetary positions. So this is very strong D3. From here you can see every planet is in the dark half, visible half. Now you see, as I said, that Lagna of the D3 is important. Okay. Here it is Ketu. And aspected by Moon, which is 9th Lord, Mercury, which is 8th Lord, and it is Ketu. Ketu is the planet of occult sciences. It is the planet of, I would say, astrology. Okay, and it is the Scorpio sign. So it has become so well that it is aspected by Mercury, which is the Karaka of Jyotish. Okay, and Moon, which is the Karaka of intuition, I would say. And Ketu is a Karaka of intuition in its own. So, and that Mercury is 8th Lord, Moon is 9th Lord. Okay, so this Ketu is so well supported by these two benefits, and it is aspected by Saturn. So now you see that Saturn is the Karaka of time. Okay, so it shows that what kind of karma the person can do. It is obviously related to the 8th house thing, Ketu thing. This is the first impression which you should analyze. Only see what influences you are getting on the Lagna. Leave the Lagan Lord. Lagan Lord is the thing that how you are managing it, how you are implementing all those things, how you are further doing the activities of the what you have in your account. Okay, so this is the influence on the Lagna. Now you see Mars. This Mars is in the 12th house. This Mars is in Kartari also. Okay, this Mars is in Kartari. Ketu is moving towards Mars, and Saturn is moving towards Saturn. Saturn is moving towards Mars. So this Mars is in Kartari. So he has got a lot of very good influences, but I also see a lot of Kartari happening into the 12th house to Mars. Okay, so there must be obstructions, restrictions in him doing all this Jyotish work, and he can explain it better after the session whether it was there or not. And so Mars is showing this thing. Okay, so this is about the Lagna and the Lagna up to now. You see 10th house. 10th house has Jupiter, and 10th house is not aspected by any planet. Okay, so Jupiter is 5th Lord, Jupiter is 2nd Lord. Here 2nd Lord is well strengthened because of the aspect of Jupiter. Okay, so 2nd house is Vak Shakti, how it is very important for an astrologer. Okay, so that is the thing it has given. And Jupiter, whenever you will see that 10th house has Jupiter, the person will be involved in religious activities. You can say religious activities, you can say spiritual activities, you can say teaching, guiding. Okay, because it will depend on horoscope whether the person is spiritual, is a teacher, is a religious. It will depend on the complete horoscope. But you have to understand from here that Jupiter will show this thing in a very big amount, and it will also depend on the dasha which is running. But generally, the religious activities and all these things, nature of the karma is like Jupiter. and sun, because sun is the sign where it is placed. Okay, and sun is also very important. It is a jyoti, from where the jyotish came. So it is there. Now you see the Lord. This Lord is in 8th house, and it is with the Shubh Kartari of moon in the 12th house of the sun and Venus in the 9th house. So in doing professions, he gets a lot of support. Okay. In overall karma, in overall outlook of the karma, he is not well supported. But in profession, he gets support. Okay, from the spouse, from the father, from these things. He has some support there. It's in the 8th house. And sun is in the 8th house. Sun is admin also. Sun is 8th house is of occult also. So all these things are there. And that sun is aspected by Saturn. Okay. Now remember what I said, that 10th house is having link of sun and Saturn will give you fame. Okay. When it is fame, then we all know that how famous is Sunil sir is, and he is worldly known astrologer, very renowned one. So you see that how sun and Saturn is giving that. Okay, so this is the thing. 11th house, as I said, is Saturn Karaka in this case, and is in 11th house, is well aspected, well supported. So it is very good to have Saturn as Karaka in the 11th house. There is a problem to it, some problem I would say, because it is with Bulik. So, but it is okay. There is no problems. There is no such problem, I would say. But generally, the nature of the karmas are good, and it is in Mercury sign. So, jyotish, reading, businessman, all these things are there. Na? From moon, you should see. From moon again, Jupiter is aspect. What is in the physical outlook is also in the mental framework. Okay, mentality also is towards the same. Okay, the 10th lord is in the Mercury sign, moon is in the Venus sign, Jupiter is aspecting being 8th lord from the moon. So it is repeated again. So mental work mentally also he is inclined towards all those things. Okay, so this is very basic. I am explaining that how to see every house independently, then use your imagination to put it. Okay, now we have to see dasha at the bottom, in the dasha of Venus. Okay, and antardasha of Mars and pratyantardasha of Jupiter. So we know that he has said many times that he has worked for the drama and some media work also he has done before. Even now, this YouTube and all these things is media kind of thing. YouTube is TV, computers, all this. So this is also related to Venus, because Venus is aspecting the 3rd house of media. Okay, it is in the 9th house. It is the 12th lord. So he's linked with the foreign students studying astrology in foreign countries. USA is well known, and he's doing internationally. So Mars and Antardasha is in 12th house. The Mars is causing the problem. This Mars is the cause of the problem in the 12th. Okay, overall karma is getting some isolation because of Ketu and Saturn. But you can, if you see it from the perspective of not seeing it as a malefic, seeing it as a function of natural karakatva of Ketu and Saturn, you will realize that it is also influencing that flavor to the Mars. Okay, and now you see that 3rd house is affected by Mars, Venus. We all know that how strong he is in his speeches. Okay, so this is the thing. Now the second chart, Jeffrey Dahmer, and I don't know whether you people are aware of this person or not. He was a serial killer and has a record of killing at least 16 or 17 people on record. Okay, and he was a cannibal. He used to kill them in the apartment of his grandmother, and then have sex with the dead body, and then he also used to eat. This is the report. And a very popular series came on Netflix about Jeffrey Dahmer as well. So this is the very heinous horoscope and a very heinous person. So the nature of the karma are so. Now you see that is Virgo. Okay, Lagna is Virgo, and that is aspected by Mars and Moon. Moon, whenever Moon is aspecting the Lagna, it will invite the fickleness. Okay, there will be fickleness, there will be instability, there will be psychic behavior. It can be with the Moon. It is not certain, but it can. Now, progress it. Moon is aspected by Saturn. Saturn is sixth lord. Retrograde. When a planet is retrograde, the abnormal behavior. This Lagna is also aspected by Mars. As I said, Mars is the criminal tendency to do damage. Mars is eighth lord of the and sixth house Virgo. It can be a doctor, it can be a lawyer, it can be a murderer. Okay, it can be a sports person, an army man, anything. This is all sixth house. You have to understand what sign shows. This is the from Lagna. Now move to the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord is in 12th of isolation. Okay. And that is heavily aspected by Saturn and Mars. Both are trick lords. Whenever trick lords will be involved, it will show there is some element of negative karma, some element of bad karma, which is not accepted by the society, especially if they are the natural malefics as well, some yoga, retrograde. So Mars is aspecting, Saturn is aspecting in the 12th house. Past life is not is very dangerous, and it is showing a bad karma which you have received in the past life, the reaction which has developed because of the past life experiences. Note this very important information about because it builds your buddhi, your intellect. So it is very bad. Okay, in the 12th house. And Jupiter is also retrograde. There is no connection of Jupiter with the 10th house. Okay, and it is aspecting the positor is equally bad. Jupiter is not a functional benefic for this horoscope. Virgo Lagna, it is Badhakesh, it is malefic. In the malefic sign in the 8th house, it is destroyed. Overall capabilities of Jupiter are also not good. Let me tell you one more thing, that I am not considering the use of a special Drekan. Special Drekan are Sarp Dreshkan, Nigad, Pash, all these are given in the classics, Brihad Jataka and Parashar also. These are the still uses in these horoscope of Jeffrey Dahmer, all these things. They show the element of karma, the nature of the karma, because that is a very advanced topic. I am not introducing it in here, but esteemed learners of astrology must refer to Brihad Jatak, where it is given, or the book of K.S. Charak, Essentials of Medical Astrology. There also he has given these divisions, or any other good book on D3 where it is given. Okay, so you can find it that which are the negative dreshkans. Okay, we all know Sarp Dreshkan. I hope that and it has has some different categorization, but I am not introducing it here. Okay, it is used in such horoscopes, but I am not introducing. Okay, we are keeping it simple. So Jupiter is in 8th house and it is retrograde, just and a malefic sign. This Jupiter is not helpful at all. Cruelty of karma, you have to see from the moon again. What is the situation? From moon again, the 10th house has Ketu aspected by Saturn and Venus. Okay, it is again afflicting the 10th house and there is no support. Okay, Venus shows the sexual thing. Okay, so 10th house has Rahu, Venus, and Saturn, and this is the problem. They are placed behind of a planet which is heavily afflicted, Mercury, and Venus is there, Rahu is there, and Saturn is there. This is very, very, very bad combination. I personally say Saturn Rahu is Pisach Yoga, Rahu Venus is another very tamasic kind of combination. Even if you go in villages, this kind of person can be a very well versed tantric, Rahu Venus. Okay, combination of tantric, but what he is doing very different kind of thing. Okay, so 10th house has such afflictions, showing the karma is not very good. It is having very bad element. Okay, because Lagan Lord, 10th Lord, they both are afflicted in the 12th house, and Saturn is there. Okay, so this is a problem. Now you see, the 9th Lord is afflicted. This Jupiter, the Karaka of 9th, is afflicted. So Dharma is not in this chart. Dharma is destroyed. Okay. And it all happened in Venus Dasha. He was not caught in Venus Dasha because Venus is at least 9th Lord. Okay. His 9th Lord, he was successful killing 17 people on record. Many more may not, we do not know, but on record. Venus he was not caught. He was caught in Sun Dasha, which is the 12th Lord. Okay. So in that way, Venus is helpful, you can say, but overall karma quality is not good. Karma Karaka is retro in 10th house with Rahu Venus. Again, same story. It is all coming to the 10th house again. Okay. Was born in Mercury Jupiter. No? Mercury Jupiter, you see. He was born in Mercury Dasha. What worse can happen? The start, the beej, the seed of the karma is ultimately destroyed. If he would have born in some other Dasha, like Moon, which is unafflicted, at least I would say it is not aspected by any other planet except this Saturn, which is retro, then it would have been better. Or even if he was born in some other Dasha, he might have done other things, but not this. But he was born in Mercury Dasha, and Mercury is Buddhi, which is heavily afflicted. What was left in the past and what is continuing in the present is very bad. Okay, so this is the nature. Now I am showing more of the professional part now, because I said we can use this chart for your overall karma also and nature of the profession also. Okay, it is the nature. This is the chart of aircraft pilot, and in any case of pilots, you will see Aries signs getting involved. This moon and Rahu is important because moon is the fastest moving planet. Okay, and Rahu we all know for the aircrafts. So it is the airy element as well. Saturn is also important. Now you see Lagan is Virgo. As I said, when is there, person can be in a job which is of regular basis. He can be army officer, he can be doctor, other things related to the Virgo. He is an aircraft pilot, had to deal with such difficult situations many times. Okay. And Lagna is Virgo. And Lagan Lord is having exchange with Mercury and Sun. Mercury is in 12th house, retrograde, no problem. And Sun is in the ascendant. It shows that there is instability in the karma. Okay. Sun is there, the planet of royalty. Jupiter is aspecting. This is Raj Lakshan Yoga. Okay. So he is working for the government as an aircraft pilot. Now you understand how it is working. And what element of the karma is there on the lagna? It is Sun. It is Jupiter. So his karma is not bad, not that bad, at least. Okay. It- now moon, you have to see from the moon, Jupiter in the 10th house, aspected by Saturn from a moving sign. It is a movable sign. Saturn is the airy planet. So from moon also, the mental faculty of the karma is like Jupiter. Jupiter is heavy planet, and it is also said to have ether element in it. Okay, Saturn is aspecting, which is a fiery planet. Sorry, airy planet, and it from the movable sign. So that is the thing. The most important part of this horoscope, because we are dealing with the profession, becomes the 10th house. In profession, 10th house will become more important. You have to start from the lagna, seeing what is the general outlook. Then you have to come to the 10th house to fine tune what is the karma, what is the profession can. Okay. 10th house has moon with Ketu in a fiery sign, sorry, in airy sign, where Mercury is in the 12th house of foreign. So there is a lot of movement in the profession because of two factors. First, fast moving planet moon, and with Ketu and Mercury in the 12th house. Okay, so this is the thing. Now you have to see Amatya Karak. It is very well placed. Amatya Karaka is 12th lord. Again, you from every factor you will be seeing that it is coming to the house of 12th, which is movement, every time movement, not staying in a single place. It can be settling up in a foreign country. I think that he was in South Africa when I consulted him. So this is the thing. Karma Karaka, Saturn mutual aspect with Mars, both in movable sign. Now you see Mars, which is the fire, and aspecting the 5th house, the 8th lord. It is aspecting the karma. So from 10th house of Saturn also, you will see their Mars in a Aries sign. Okay, and Saturn is in the 5th house. Okay, so again, we all know that Saturn Mars combination, the person cannot be at a rest. He will be restless, and maybe involved in heavy machinery work. Here it is. Okay. Birth in Venus, Mercury, Venus Dasha. Venus is 9th lord, aspected by 8th lord Mars. Okay. Venus is also your vehicle. It can be aircraft also. Okay. It can be railways also. But what we are seeing from this horoscope is the it is aircraft. Okay. It is a pilot of aircraft because Venus is in the 9th house of movement. Again, movement is there. Venus, Mercury, which is the 12th house, movement. So you will see when someone is in driving job or aircraft pilot, the role of 12th becomes important. Fiery signs will become important. Okay, Venus will become important because it is vehicle. Rahu will become important. Moon for the faster moving activities. Saturn for that heavy machinery work. Mars for the courage. All these will play their role now. Okay, so in such a way you can see just explaining the d3. Okay, when we will analyze d1, d9 and d3, we can get a fair amount of idea of what the person will do. There are principles for that, but you have to understand d3, that how it is applicable in d3. Okay, now it is a chart of IAS officer. He was an IITian also. Now you see Lagna rising is Leo. Okay. Now you see that how Lagna rising is important in every horoscope. In Sunil John G, it was Scorpio. In my case also, it is a Scorpio. You will find in most of the astrologers' case, there will be link of Scorpio, Ketu, Jupiter with the Lagna or Mercury. Here it is Leo with Ketu. Leo is the sign of royalty, the one who is admin, the one who can govern others. Here it is Ketu. Okay. And other sign is Lagna Lord is not aspected by any planet. Okay. It is only Ketu is there. Ketu is also known for the throne. Now you see Lagan Lord. Where is Lagan Lord? Lagan Lord is in the 5th house of position, of power, of ministership. Okay, in the sign of Sagittarius. And Leo Sagittarius both are important for the IAS officers. Okay, so this is the thing. Now we come to the aspect on the Lagna Lord. Saturn is aspecting. When Saturn is aspecting the Lagna, means Lagna is having some kind of authority comes because Sun is the Lagna Lord. Okay. Now you again see how the Lagna is getting connection with the Sun and Saturn. Okay. Whenever the popularity authority will come, Sun and Saturn will meet. And Sun is the Lagna Lord, Saturn is the 6th and 7th Lord. Now you see from Moon also, from Moon, Jupiter and Mars in the 10th house. Mars is also the planet of authority, or okay, and all these things. And Jupiter in the 10th house, a perfect combination to be bureaucrat. Okay, it is from the mental outlook is such, and the Lord of Moon is also exalted. 10th house from there also exalted. So such a strong mind we have got. Okay, because to be an IAS officer is not an easy job. From Lagna, 10th Lord is exalted in 8th house and aspected by exalted Jupiter. See how 10th house and 10th Lord has become so important and so powerful. Okay, the 3rd Lord, Venus, and the 10th Lord is so much of strong because of the aspect of Jupiter. Okay, so it is very important, strong horoscope to become such at such a post. Now you see AMK is in the 8th house with exalted Venus, and aspect Gemini aspect of Sun is there. Gemini aspect, when I say, then all dual Rashis aspect. And when we are using Gemini, we should use the Gemini aspects. Leave it for that, for the purpose as of now. I think you may get confused with that. But you just see that this Amatya Karaka is in the 8th house. This person has done IIT. He was an engineer, but he left the job. He prepared for the IAS officer and he became the IAS officer. This is the problem with the 8th house AMK. It is also aspected by Jupiter. Venus is with Venus. So whatever he did was very good, but he has to change the job. He has to bring some change. Okay. And he is working in a very tricky positions, in a very tricky situations because of his present post and his working style. Birth in Rahu Sun. Rahu is in the 7th house, unafflicted in Kendra. It's a very good, no? And Sun, we all know, in the 5th house. So when we are taking Rahu, we have to take the dispositor Sun, Saturn as the working. So Saturn is strong, aspected by Jupiter. Okay, so this is the element in this horoscope. Now coming to the loco pilot. Now I showed you the previous horoscope of aircraft pilot. Now this is the loco pilot, the electric train drive. Okay, so working in Indian Railways. Amatya Karaka is Moon, and this Moon, leave Moon. We should focus on the Lagna. Lagna is having Mercury. this person I personally know is very, I would say, very communicative, very social because of Mercury in the ascendant. But he also creates problem because of his faulty speeches, of wrong working of the intellect. Okay, selfishness. He creates a lot of problem. You see that Mars is aspecting the ascendant, the Mercury, and Mercury is the 12th lord. Loss of the lagna, loss of your thing. So this is the general outlook which I want to explain. Mars is aspecting Mercury. This is the general thing. Okay, he is courageous because of Mars in the 10th house with Ketu. But that Mars is also aspected by Jupiter and Venus. So he is also a religious person. So this is the nature of the person. Okay, he is courageous, he is intellectual, he is communicative, he is religious. Everything is seen from the lagna. Moon is in the 3rd house, fund of travels. Again, you see, travel is there. 12th lord in lagna, lagna lord in 3rd. This is the scheme of the aircraft also. This one also. The change movement is there. Sudden travels, I would say. Things. 1 minute. Why it is? Give me 1 minute. Okay. I hope slides are visible. Okay, now it's not. So now you see that, as I said, the 10th house, sorry, the Lagan Lord is in 3rd and 12th Lord is in the ascendant. It shows the movement. A movable sign is rising in the ascendant as well. Okay, the Cancer sign is emotional person as well. So this is the general nature. Now coming to the profession, because we are more discussing about profession in the last 2-3 examples. 10th house from moon, we have to see the mental outlook. As I said, there is Saturn in Aries sign. Mercury is in the Cancer. Saturn in the 10th house will show service oriented person. Okay. Now, why I am saying service oriented, it can be a politician also. Okay. We have to see the horoscope in totality, whether there is combination to do business or not. He can be a businessman after the retirement, but Dasha will matter. The complete horoscope will matter. There are a different set of principles to check whether the person will do business or will do what? Will do service. Okay, so I'm not going into that. But from this only, I would say Saturn is in 12th house from the Lagna. He wanted to do the business, but his father said, no, you have to do the this service. Okay, his father forced him, okay, to do service. I think that he will do business after this retirement. So Saturn, whenever it's connected to the 10th house from moon, it can be masses, can be work related to the masses. That is why I'm saying business or politician. Okay, but he is in service. That is also fine, and he is doing very good because he is enjoying his service. Okay, so this is the thing. From this is the mental outlook. You can go deep. You can check Lagan Lord of Moon. Sorry, yeah, sign Lord of Moon, 10th Lord of Moon. That is Mercury aspected by all these. You can check it. Okay, but I just explained it all also. 10th house from Lagna is having Mars in movable sign aspected by 6th Lord of Service. As I said, 6th Lord of Service and 10th house and 10th Lord of the D3, when they are in PAC, placement aspect conjunctions, they will show service to a great extent. It will show service. Otherwise, until and unless the horoscope is very strong, the Lagna is very strong. D9, D1, you have to check it. So here it shows service. Venus is again involved. That is your vehicle related work. Okay. Sun, Mars, and Jupiter are capable of giving government job. We all know. I remember this very good author. His name is Colonel God. He used to say that Venus is a minister apart from Jupiter. Venus is also a planet which can give government job. The combination of houses is 10th house, 11th house, and 5th house for government job. You will not find it failing in a single horoscope, considering D1, D9, D10, D3. Okay, 10th, 5th, and 11th. So here, 10th lord is in the, 5th lord is in the 10th house. 11th lord is aspecting the 10th house. Okay. So he is in government job, he's enjoying the job, and the job is related to this communicative work, travel, vehicle. Moon is in the 3rd house, Amatya Karaka. So he started very low. He was started from a group D job, but he is really enjoying his job as of now, the traveling job. Moon in 3rd house, which is the Amatya Karaka. Okay, so you see that how Amatya Karaka is working in 11th house, in 8th house, in 3rd house. Okay, it becomes very important. Amatya Karaka. Sun Saturn relation is absent. There is no relation of Sun and Sun. So he is not famous. Okay, he's a normal person, ordinary person. Okay, so this is the last point is Moon, Venus, Saturn, which is the Dasha at birth. The Moon in 3rd house. That explains. Okay, I will recommend that you cannot understand Dasha at birth in a single session. You have to work on at least 500 horoscopes. At least I'm saying. Then you will get the crux of this technique, because this is very classic technique. All traditional, old, genuine, good astrologers use this Dasha at birth. Very important term. So here Moon, Venus, Saturn, that explains the complete combination. To where is the focus? Okay, so this was from this webinar. Okay, and if you people have any question, then please raise your question. All questions are welcome here. Okay, and I'm here to answer.
Kindly raise your hands. Kindly raise your hands if you have any questions. We are short on time. We are already delayed by an hour. So quickly, please, if anybody has any questions.
Okay, Jeet Roy. Yes, Ajit Roy. You can.
Kindly come on camera. Ajit Roy, Monica
Devajit
Agarwal,
Sarkar.
Devjit Sarkar. Please, we are absolutely, we won't be able to, Monica Sarkar, Devjit Sarkar, Monica Agarwal, Devjit Sarkar, Ajit Roy. Okay, because we won't be able to give lunch break. Okay, I guess they are busy somewhere. All right, we'll
Bharat
people
Bansal.
Monica,
They
now
can-
people can unmute themselves.
Yes, sir. Just one query. At 2-3 times, you are mentioning that the 5th and the 10th Lord, if they are joining, but the relations comes at the 6th, 8th positions, and 5th and 10th house are from each other. Then how it's
Whether they
a
are
good
joining or not,
yeah.
they are joining, but in trick house. It is your.
10th house,
I'm not able to understand your question. What you are saying.
sir. In one example, you saying that if Saturn and the Sun are from each other at in 5th and 10th house, that's a good combination. But 5th and 10th house is 6, 8 positions from each other.
No. Don't take it like that. The planet in 5th house can be bad for the profession. Okay, 5th lord can give you gain of the profession, can give you position in the profession if 10th and 5th are related to each other. It is a great Raj Yoga. Okay. So there is no problem of 6-8 relation. Okay. There is no such problem if of 6-8 relation. Yeah. Because you see the Dharma Karma Dipati Raj Yoga is formed from the 9th and 10th. They are 212. So whenever any Raj Yoga is formed, so it is showing that you cannot get any great results without suffering, without some problems. Okay. That is why such Raj Yogas are from 212, 6-8. You cannot have fame while sitting in a house in comfortable situation.
Okay. In this angle, if we understand, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can I ask, sir?
Yes, you can.
Sir, D3, which Driskan should I check, sir? Either Somnath Driskan, Parasara Driskan, or Jagannath Driskan? Which Driskan should I
No.
check in this case?
In D3, if I can show my this Parashar, this Jagannath Hora, let me share the screen. Here. Okay. So in this you can see this is the traditional one. Okay.
Okay.
If you right click over here, you will get traditional Parashara Decan.
Okay.
Now it is the Pravitri Traya Decan. This is the I am using. Okay. You can cross check it with the method I gave.
Thank you, sir.
Devajit Sarkar.
प्रणाम सर
हाँ, प्रणाम, नमस्ते।
सर आपने जो प्रोसेस बोले सर वो मेरे चार्ट के संग बहुत अच्छा फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच कर रहा है। मेरा लग्न ऑल्सो वृश्चिक लग्न, लग्न लॉट 10th लॉट 5th हाउस, आई एम इन गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो। सो सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि प्रवृत्ति ड्रेकाना मीन्स तक यू आर कास्टिंग कंटिन्यूअस, यू आर कंटिन्यूअसली क्रॉसिंग द ज़ोडिएक।
Cyclic, I said in first.
So, my request to Yashraj, if at all in case by any chance someone is asking a question in Hindi, kindly also translate, just translate it into English, or if some of the volunteers here can do it, because there are foreigners also, South Indians also, who do not, South Indians, many from Tamil, they don't understand Hindi. So we should need to be kind and compassionate. And if somebody is not comfortable in asking in English, if you know little bit of English, it's still fine. I mean, this is not an English class that somebody will judge you, that if your English is not up to the mark. My English is pathetic. I mean, I could never stand in front of my father and speak English. I mean, I would have been ridiculed. Useless English, he used to say. He says, unless and until you master Ren and Martin, don't stand in front of them. Anyway, please continue. Please ask your question.
You are asking.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you are when you are casting the Drekkana chart, Varanasi Drekkana. So that means you are continuously, you are continuous. Parivriti means continuous.
Yeah.
So how it is different in that when we do frog jump, like Aries first Drekkana, that means it will be into Leo Drekkana. So how it will be different when it will manifest in our life?
See.
Is it the difference means physical level or mental level or something?
No. I said it shows the karma gati. Okay. That in what ways your karmas are flowing, and it cannot be jumping. Okay. That it has to be cyclic. Okay. That is why. And the D3 which Parashar has given shows the nature also. It can also show your karma. It can also show you about your siblings, and it is much more than Drekan Swarup we use in Prashna. We use, I said, special Drekan, Nigad, Sar, Pash. Okay, all these are given in Brij Jatak. So these are only calculated from the Parashar's Drishkan. Okay. While analyzing it for the Karmfal, we have to use this Karmfal. this Pravritti Tray or Varanasi Drekkana, because it will show you in what ways your karmas are flowing in this birth. Okay, it
Okay.
is better shown in this. D3 of Parashar will also show you very satisfactory results. I'm not against it.
But it is, sir, more of physical level. Like we generally,
It is more on physical level. That is, yeah, it is more on physical. And
another thing, sir, you told that third house is not for the free will. Means
I said that is because of basic intentions. Can you
Okay.
control your intentions?
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Can you control?
So,
If
sir,
you can control your intent.
No, sir. No, sir. So, sir, you consider 10th house as free will.
Yeah, 10th house as free will.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
it will be always a topic of controversy, but that is what I have been taught.
Okay, sir. Thanks a
But
lot,
sir,
sir.
we still have the control to hold over our emotions and intents, right? We can change our intentions if possible, if we think wisely.
Yeah, that is why I told we can change it. But what is the inherent instinct? Because you see that third house is second from the second. Okay. So it is the house of your morals, sanskar. And it is the Bhavadhama of third house is fifth house. That is why it is a very difficult house. It is second from the second, eighth from the eighth. So it can be changed, it cannot be changed. It depends that how is the connection in the horoscope. I am not revealing it here, not how it works.
Yeah,
But I am
because
saying that 10th house is the free will.
yeah, because you see, like we hear these terms many a times in Hindi. किसी के बहकावे में आके कुछ कर दिया या बहकावे में मत आइए. You know, these kind of things are the wise thoughts which also comes into our mind, and we change our intentions.
We can change to an extent.
Pranam, sir. I have a question. So, sir,
Yes.
does the dispositor theory also works in this? Suppose for Karka Lagna, Mangal becomes the 5th and the 10th lord. So, any planet in 5th or 10th, if the Mahadasha is going on, so does the theory works like for the, like as you said, like even sun and Saturn together will give you a government job, or if the Dasha of 5th or the 10th lord will give you a job, or suppose if there are any random planet but the dispositor is same, so if the Mahadasha is going on, even that would go towards the
That is
government job, sir.
It is a single aspect of the planet. Okay, if that planet is capable to give in D1, D9, and also getting support here, in not only by the placement in the 5th house, the planet can give you the position or government job. Okay, if 12th lord is in the 5th house, it can give the end to the profession or your karma. Okay, because his retirement is in the 5th house, 8th from the 10th, it can give retirement. Okay, it can give disgrace also. So it is not so easy to say that a planet in 5th house will give Rajyog. We have to see the horoscope in totality. Yeah, dispositor theory will work in every Vargacha, but not in isolation.
I hope we are covered.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sorry, Nimish.
Yes. Sir, I want to ask the predictive techniques that you've given. So these are applicable on both the D3 when it is calculated by Parashar's method and the Varanasi method?
You can apply it on any D.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I think we have covered many questions. We are running late. We kept Vijay Chawla ji waiting for quite some time. Thank you so much, Yash. I hope people liked this session. It might be a bit advanced for the young ones. If you like the session, please comment in the chat box. Always encourage the speaker. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, it was really wonderful. We learned something new like Varanasi pattern, which I never heard of in my life.
Varanasi Drekkana, K.N. Rao has written his books about his mother, who was a great Prashna expert. His mother always used to speak about Varanasi Drekkana and Ram Yatan Oja. Ram Yatan Oja's books are available in Hindi only. He had, if I remember well, now my memory is fading, talked about Varanasi Drekkana. So whenever Varanasi Drekkana used to be discussed, Ram Yatan Oja's name was there. There's another book, I think it was by Ram Yatan Oja, which got out of print, got lost, and one Pandit, he found it flowing in Ganga. And he was thinking for many months which book he should write, study on, etc. And finally he said Ganga Ma gave the answer. The book came floating to him. Yes, I think it was Palit Vikas. Correct. Correct. So, see, as I said, you know, there are a lot of secrets in Banaras, and we need to focus, and you will not master a Drekkana if you just see this example charts given by Yashraj. Yashraj is basically trying to tickle your mind to do the hard work. So until you see 30-40 Drekkanas on charts known by you, you will not be able to get the taste. You know, it's like if you eat a dish, okay, if you eat, say, pie, if you eat a biryani once, twice, you'll not get the flavor. You'll have to eat it many a time. All right. Thank you so much, Yashraj. God bless you for your
Thank you,
lecture.
sir.
Thank you. Amit bhai, stop the recording. Girish bhai, stop the recording, log out and come back.
Okay.
Thank you. Girish, noted?
Okay, sir. Okay. I will log in you.